Hello everyone, this is Dr. Long here, and today we'll be talking about skill set number 4, follow up with your prospect. So in this skill set, there are 4 concepts that I like to go with you guys. Now, this is the most important skill set to master in order to become professional, because this is where the money is. This is where the fortune is in the follow up. So concept number 1 to realize is follow up is doing what you said you would do. For concept number 2 is the only reason to have an exposure is to set up the next exposure. Concept number 3, it takes an average of 4 to 6 exposures for the average person to join. Concept number 4, condense the exposures for better results. So I'm going to go in each concept and kind of elaborate on what is the meaning of it. Concept number 1, follow up is doing what you said you would do. This is extremely important because first of all, this is to build your trust. If you said you're going to call your prospect at a specific time, then do it, or reschedule well ahead of the appointment. If you are the last minute person and don't do what you said you're going to do, you're going to lose trust. And if you lose trust, you cannot do this business. Be the person who does what they say they're going to do, and people will respect that. That's the bottom line. Concept number 2, the only reason to have an exposure is to set up the next exposure. So basically, what you're trying to do is you're trying to keep the prospect getting exposure after exposure to keep the process alive until they make a decision. This next exposure opportunity is follow-up call. So basically, I'll give you a scenario on the bottom. When you make that call, you're going to ask them if they review the material, and there'll be usually 2 answers, no or yes. If they answer no, the key to this is not to get upset, be professional. And basically, the best way to respond is, that's okay. I understand sometimes life get busy. When you think you could do um, for sure, let me know. So basically, you're trying to get a date and time for the next exposure and hang up the call, and then you said you follow up like you would. If you call them the next at the time of the schedule and they still not have reviewed it, repeat the process until you do. The key here is persistence. Again, they don't know what they don't know. So then it is your job to teach and expose them, but be very professional when you hear the answer no. Of course, on the other hand, if they said, yeah, I review it, in this case, you want to ask them intelligent question, of course. You ask them, what do you like the best? If it's a product, then the next exposure, you probably want to show them product related. If they like financial freedom, then the next one, you will get them the opportunity related. Whatever the follow-up, again, this is only 2 scenarios, and every follow-up is different. So you want to make sure you cater towards the prospect. The third concept is it takes an average of 4 to 6 exposure for the average person to join. We are a teacher, we are a consultant. So as a teacher, understand that everyone is learning at a different rate. So basically, it takes an average of 4 to 6 exposure for a prospect to be involved. But it's okay. Our goal is education and understanding. We are the teacher. So it's hard to educate someone with 1 exposure. As a teacher, you want to be patient, and the objective is keep on teaching and teaching. Essentially, the information will sink in. The idea is to build a stronger relationship with your prospect, and the key is be patient. Again, you are teaching. You are not here to be a hunter or shark. You are here to teach them and give them some time to talk over with the families, give them some time to sink in. So again, 4 to 6 exposures required. Now, the number fourth concept is condense your exposure for the better results. In another word, you don't want to uh, follow up with someone and take a long time. So you want to, keep it in such a way where the process is still alive. So in the amateur perspective, prospect server exposure over time, and this process is difficult because each exposure they tend to get distracted in life. So if you leave it too long in an amateur perspective, they tend to lose interest. In a professional way, you want to expose to condense the time the shortest as possible, and be busy. Life will happen, life will be distracted, but when you stack up these exposure closest as possible, this will keep them the interest. So for example, ask them to check the YouTube, then after that do a conference call, try the product, get a webinar, three-way call, and then come to live meeting. Or this kind of be in 1 week, which then give them the ability to think. Remember, our course is actually 6 weeks long. So then we have, again, about 4 to 6 weeks of exposure. At this time, they'll be comfortable. But again, you don't want to space it out like every month of, to do the concept. Again, I think 4 to 6 weeks will be a good time exposing for new partners to really understanding Market America business. You will run into a lot of objections, especially no. I want you to think of no. No, if you really think about it, N is for next opportunity. Again, remember our goal is education and understanding. So it is our job to help the blind people see when someone bring up negative questions, or if they offer the objection, all they're really doing is helping you to identify their blind spot. It is helpful to know these so that you can assist the prospect in eliminating them in the next opportunity. So don't be get discouraged by no. No is actually good for you to really learn more about the prospect and what they need. Some of the old tactics that you could use is feel, felt, and found. So here's an example. If there's an objection, you will respond with, I know how you feel. I felt the same way, but there is what I found. You can modify this based on the story. So again, feel, felt, and found. You could use this strategy to overcome the objections. There are 3 positive thinking that I love to share with you. First, again, I already talked about this, and no, next opportunity. Your goal is to teach and expose them. So right now they might not understand this, but it doesn't mean the next time they will not. So your goal is to teach them, expose them. Fail, first attempt in learning. This is true. When you first learn something, you fail. Imagine you try to walk. Imagine you try to ride a bike. You're gonna fail. You're gonna fall. You're gonna get hurt. But stand up and keep on continue doing what you have to do. Essentially, you will master the concept. Sometimes you're gonna feel the end. The end really, to me, means effort never die. Your legacy never die. Whatever you do, it's gonna carry up to 3 generations. So this is not just about you. This is for your children and your grandchildren. Again, I want to congratulate you for understood this skill set of number 4, which is the follow up your prospect. Again, this is where the fortune is. So master this concept really well, and you'll be very successful. Okay, go ahead and repeat after me. I will change my life for the better. I will convert my spending into earning, and I'm always the winner. So the next skill set is to number 5, to help the partner get started right. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.